Hi everybody and welcome back to Tuesday Talks. I'm Flavia along with Peter.
We are live again, so that's a good thing.
It is.
End of summer, first day of school.
Kids are back.
Kids are back.
excited.
I'm sure the parents are excited out there.
I would be if I was a parent.
Absolutely. College kids are back to school last week.
Yeah, between this weekend or this week, the following week, and last week, they're all starting to trickle back in. I know BU always starts after Labor Day, so they got some time.
Got it. So we have Labor Day weekend coming up. We have earnings coming up in the second and third week in September, about the third week in September. Still have some inflationary pressures going on, and the Fed came out with some wording on Friday that spooked everybody. That's everybody.
Well, the Fed's spooky as is.
It is spooky, absolutely. I would be thinking of Halloween, and right after Halloween,
You know what?
the Christmas music comes on all of a sudden.
And that's why they had to do it. They knew fall's coming.
That's right.
The unofficial end of summer's coming up.
That's right. Well, it's still warm here. It's still warm in our building.
It's looking like it'll be warm till mid to the end of September,
It
so
does.
I'm not going to complain.
It definitely does look like that, folks. It's been a warm summer here in New England.
It is. Speaking of things warming up,
Yes.
student loans are going to be in the next hot topic we talk about.
Well, again, this is federal student loans. So if you're holding, or if your children, or if your grandchildren, or anybody that you know is holding federal student loans, they will have $10,000 of free money, costing us taxpayers about $550 billion. Still don't know where that money's coming from, but they do funny things with the money.
I was going to say, unlike us, they can print more.
We
do. We can't print money. That's
Well,
not good.
what I think
They
is
can
funny,
print
and it's
money.
funny, we talked about this, Flavia, about a month
Yeah.
ago. I said, so they ended quantitative easing, folks.
Yeah.
So quantitative easing was basically the government saying, we're not going to give the money to the banks. Almost the amount of money that they took away from quantitative easing went into two programs: the Inflation Reduction Act and the federal student loan reduction.
Oh, so we found the...
So it went from the left side to the right side.
Well, and sometimes that's what you have to do, though. I mean...
That's what happens.
Thinking of a lot of people that I know, my age, who do have hefty student loans, I think this will make a big difference for them, and I think it'll be good.
I think, again, it is going to be some inflationary pressures, but no difference, folks, in inflationary pressure that we had with quantitative easing. So what I'm saying is that I think the money just moved from the left side of the equation to the right, as usual.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So, when we talk about student loans, we talk about education. Obviously, Flavia, you invested in your education at Boston University. We here at FR Investment Group, we figure that an education is an asset, not a liability. I know many of you who have student loans, or if you are out there with children who possibly will have student loans or grandchildren, you have to view education as an asset. When you view it as an asset, then what that does is it gets rid of that negativity, like I got to pay back my loan. Other than the fact to say, no, I have an asset that's worth something that I'm going to do well with over the long term. Because here at FR, what do? We try to invest for the long term. And when you invest in your education, and obviously, Flavia, you invested in your Boston University education, it's a long-term investment.
It is.
And I know you refinance for over 15 years and 20 years, or.
Well, you have to be smart about it. That's why when interest rates are low, refinance. But I've, never refinance a federal student loan ever.
Because of this reason.
Exactly, because you never know what they're going to do or what they're going to come out with or what perks are behind it. They're federal for a reason. They have special things that private loans don't have.
But here as financial advisors, we do view education as an asset, not as a liability. And I think that when people start looking at their educations as an asset, they will sit there and say, okay, I am going to pay this education loan back, and I'm going to pay that over 10 or 15 years. And obviously, as advisors, we work with our clients about how to restructure and reposition those loans. But I think if you do that, I think it'll change that moniker of, oh my gosh, I have all this student loan debt, versus to say, I have to pay off, I have to invest in myself, and I'm using that asset of my education to invest in myself.
Absolutely, and that's what you have to do. I think the other part of it becomes this level of being reasonable too. There's a lot of people who go for a lot of great careers that they pay all this money for, an Ivy League or a private education, where there are state schools with just as great programs, if not better.
We are big believers
that makes
here.
A little bit more sense. So it's looking into that feasibility too, and seeing what the return on your investment is over the long run. So that way you don't feel that noose around your neck of like, ooh, I'm like $270,000 in debt and I make $30,000 a year.
Well, I think it's also sometimes you can make that career change. You can, even if you went to a 4-year school, you say, you know what, now I need to go to 2 years of trade school, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. I think investing in your education is always important and valuable. And sometimes you have to, you know, what I say, take a mulligan, right? So
Yeah.
you have to take that mulligan sometimes, even with your education, and say, hey, you know what, it didn't work out exactly the way I wanted to do, but let's take that mulligan. Let's not sit there and get so upset about it and say, what do I need to do to further my career? Like you said, whether it's a trade
Right.
or technical or things that we do every day, which is
Yeah.
take exams to make ourselves, you know, valuable to the
Yeah.
community when it comes to financial advice. We do the same things here at FR Investment Group.
We do.
Yep.
We do. Makes it fun.
So, anyways, we got Labor Day coming up. I'm hoping to try to get in one or two more FR Investment Group ice cream tours here. We've been kind of quiet on the FR Investment Group ice cream tours, but that's okay.
Well, when the markets are hot, we're cold on ice cream.
Very, very good. When the markets are hot, we're cold on ice cream. But everybody, I hope all of you have a safe Labor Day weekend. It'll be very interesting as we get into September, as we have a lot of things going on in the markets, and
We
we'll
do.
see.
And a lot of things around the community.
Yes, we do. We'll be making those announcements of things that we will be doing in the community. I think that'll be great.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
Well, have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week on Tuesday Talks with FR Investment Group.